First in a test in the United States New Mexico desert, then 5,000 miles away at Hiroshima, and then again at
Fighting
Nagasaki.
is taking place between the Germans and invasion forces on the Normandy Peninsula.
What single day in human history has the most human deaths ever recorded? And by day, I don't mean what day is most common for a person to die. And by single day, I mean single day. No events, no disease, no war. From 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., what single day in human history has garnered the most deaths? Okay, so answering this question is difficult to say the least. Population grows over time, and as the population grows, the death toll every day gets super high. For example, every single day in 2024, at least 150,000 people die in a single day. That number is proportionate to the absolute insane population size we have, meaning the average day for the average Albert is a tragedy in the ancient world. 100 years ago, when people read books and touched some grass, a lot of people just didn't simply exist. However, 150,000 deaths per day is not even far off. Because even though the population has quadrupled since those 100 years, the death rate 100 years ago, in the 1900s for example, was 30 deaths per 1,000 population. This was because of the bad medicine and just high mortality rates in children. This rate is 3.7 times, almost 4 times higher than the death rate we have now, which is 8 deaths per 1,000 people. This means they cancel out. By multiplying the deaths per 1,000 people, which was 30, or the CDR, with the world population, which is 1.6 billion in the 1900s, and then dividing that by 365 for 365 days, we can see that an estimate of 131,507 deaths happened every day in the 1900s. However, in the 1940s it was lower, with the daily death toll of 120,329 deaths per day. Said that, for the sake of this video, to make things a lot more simple for Albert's brain, let's disregard these per day calculations as they are not very reliable and the data just doesn't exist for specific years. Let's just look at the deadliest events that took the most lives in one day for 24 hours. The most dangerous war in history was, of course, took the lives of a geometric estimate of 64,362,217. Out of all these days the war occurred, at least one of these days should be the most dangerous day on Earth. For the rules of this competition: A. The deaths must occur instantly or in rapid succession. B. Deaths happening after the incident won't count to the toll. For example, famines that happen after droughts. C. Highly populated areas are key to maximizing the death toll. Here are our 3 candidates for related. The of Hiroshima, Doomsday, and the Tokyo bombings. The first atomic bombing of Hiroshima, aka Little Boy, I'm not joking, happened on August 6, 1945, and let's just say it wasn't pleasant for the people living there. Approximately 80,000 people were killed instantly from the impact. The world population was an estimate of 2.3 billion people in the year of 1940, and 2.3 billion people divided by 80,000 tells us 0.0000347826% of the world population died that year. In terms of the world today, that gives us 278,000 people for reference. Of course, we can't use this number, but that is just to show how deadly this attack was. I'll tell you right now, 80,000 does not make the cut at all, and it's not even close, so stay tuned. For now, let's just banhammer that real quick. Another incident that happened to Japan committed by, once again, those Americans are the Tokyo fire bombings, which is said to kill at least 80,000, but was probably more likely to be above 100,000. Let's just say 100,000 for now. This is 0.0000434786 percentage of the population. In our terms, multiplied by 8.2 billion, that is 347,826 people. This puts it above the bombings of Hiroshima. I can tell you right now, 100,000 also isn't even close. So, yeah. When it comes to World War II tragedies, D-Day is like a shark. You think it's a real danger, but in reality, they're relatively chill. D-Day is literally the little bro. It's not even a day. It lasts for 12 weeks. I find this very funny, but the D in D-Day does not stand for death. It stands for day. So it's actually Day-Day. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that. Alright, let's talk numbers. So D-Day is also known as the invasion of Normandy. And it was when thousands of troops landed in Normandy. They landed in Normandy. The first day of the attack probably had the most deaths. The number we have are not the best results, but it's said to have been 4,000 to 9,000 people on the first night who had died. And that's not even close to the big boy numbers we saw. So yeah, D-Day was a tragedy, but it wasn't as big of a tragedy as the others ones we saw, putting itself in third and probably the last of this video. None of these war-related death days are actually the deadliest day on Earth. So what exactly is it? Maybe a plague. I mean, the bubonic plague killed towards 75 million to 200 million people. That's a lot higher than World War II. If you recall to the start, 2 of the 3 points was that deaths must happen instantly, and deaths in that 24-hour period was the only ones that counted. Diseases cause terror. I mean, we just went through Corona, and the common cold is still a virus that exists till this day. Even though diseases historically have ruined countries and civilizations, it's more of a slow, painful death than a quick one. They just take too long to kill people, and that's not good. I mean, yeah, that's amazing. They should take time. Now for the real killer. The thing that crosses off all the criteria. The biggest of the boys. The thing we humans are getting more prone to as the years go on. Natural disasters. Floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, cyclones, avalanches, and even heat waves these days. They are the true big boys of disasters. So, which one is it? The third point I made was that high populated areas are key. And what country was the most populated until 2023? It's China. So the answer to this question is the quickest disaster that killed in the shortest period of time. And the answer to that question is the 1556 Shaanxi earthquake. This quake only lasted for a few seconds but killed 830,000 people in the Shaanxi province. However, these kills are not the instant deaths, but the estimated total deaths. And the truth is, we will never know the amount of deaths that happened on that first day. There are actually no recordings of first day deaths for any natural disaster because of how destructive they are. You just can't record those things. But we can make an educated estimate with the information we have now. Let's say 60% of the deaths happened instantly. This is from the collapsing infrastructure to landslides and just the instant speed of the earthquake. So, if we multiply 830,000 by 60%, we can see that an estimate of 490,000 people died on the first day. And this is the answer for the day with the most deaths. It's January 23rd of 1556, and it's the Shaanxi earthquake in China, or the Ming dynasty. But it's nice to know that even though we as humans have created atomic bombs, guns, and missiles, with all the wars we have begun, we will always fall short to Mother Nature. The truth is, no war is deadlier than a plague. No bomb is deadlier than an earthquake. Mother Nature may always be the biggest threat to humanity.